to spend in the gym? How much time gym for the whole week?
3 hours.
For about 120 pounds soaking wet. 107. Son, you're going to have to start building up right now. Build up by getting a nutritionist and a trainer. Not heavy weights. What will help your game today is getting bigger and stronger, not necessarily techniques. Understand? What type of game do you play?
Aggressive baseline.
Does that mean you come in? Come in red?
A little bit.
Look what he just said. If you play an aggressive baseliner and you don't come in at his size, you ain't going to win. The benefit of playing an aggressive baseliner is to take advantage because you're hitting the ball early. So if you're hitting the ball early and coming in, because it looks like you're not going to be a giant. And if you're not going to be a giant, you better not stay in that baseline too long. You better learn the whole game. And the advantage of being an aggressive baseliner is standing close to the baseline and hitting the ball early. In order to do that, you have to have a strong foundation. You have to hit a lot of balls open stance. That means here. And when you hit it early, usually it catches the opponent out of position. And you have to then attack the defensive ball. So what I would do with you is, I would tell you to start coming in a 4-stroke rally. I want you to start coming in on the 2nd or 3rd stroke. So Tommy Haas asked me when he was 18 years old, and he came here, he was 30. He said, Nick, when do I come to the net? Come in all the time, man. You'll find out when you come in. Best way. By the way, Tommy Haas, 3 major operations, said he was finished. 2012, 344 in the world. He ended up number 21 in the world and the comeback player of the world. He's now number 18 in the world. Okay? Thank you, son. So start eating some of that good Italian food. All right, come on. How about, sir?
Where would you recommend as a tennis holiday or as a resort where you can get very good tennis? You know, obviously not an academy.
Resort.
Well, let's go.
Well, you know, a pretty good one is the Ritz Hotel in the Cayman Island. One of my coaches run that, Thomas Newhart. He runs a good program. The Colony Beach used to have the best programs for juniors and adults in the world.
Is that defunct? Finished?
It's about, it'll have to be all torn down, and that's where I began my career.
Oh.
It's all closed down. The buildings are full of mold, and the buildings are falling. And my good friend, Dr. Carter, that's where I started. It was on the, and that's where John and Mary Lou Whitney had a home there. But that was a great resort.
On the mainland in America, you know.
Don't go to California because they think they know everything. All those Californians think they know everything. I'll give you a great price to come down to Canada. We can negotiate. Really, I don't know of too many that really cater to the whole family. The Colony was the very best.
You know, we enjoyed the Colony a lot.
What you want to do is make sure I get the address or his email, and I'll look into it and I'll get back to you. Okay? All right, come on. Another question. Yes, ma'am.
What player did you have the most gratification working with?
What players what?
Did you have the most gratification working with?
Well, let's go through a few of them. The first Andre Agassi should have been kicked out 100 times. Really should. I kept him because I saw something in that boy that was unusual. Monica Seles actually cost me 3 wives. She kept me there till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. She was so disciplined in learning one type of shot that she would not stop until she learned it. Jim Courier, when he came, his beautiful mother wrote me a letter. She said, Nick, please teach my son a backhand. This is the grips he had. Baseball. You know what I did? The heck with the backhand. Hit a big forehand and a big serve. And he became an animal. became #1 in the world. Jim Courier worked his family off. He's a great guy. And by the way, Andre Agassi, through his foundation now, is doing so much for his charter schools. Marcelo Rios was the most talented player I've ever had and probably will ever have. But he didn't understand how to appreciate the game and what it took to have respect for the game and sign autographs for boys and girls who waited hours for him. He was #1 for 1 week. He was the most talented player, and a book came out on him last year, and many of the top coaches said he was the best in the business. Sharapova, if her opponent was here, she came to me, she was 9 years old, and the opponent was having leg cramps, and Maria should walk around, she'll walk right over the top. She ain't going to walk around her. With her, it ain't over till it's over. She won a lot of matches by here. Jelena Jankovic, fantastic, but her mama, oh my God, her mother was a nightmare. But, okay, let's get now to the next one. Boris Becker, he was a discipline, and everything had to be planned out. But he only wanted to be told one simple remark before a match. As we walked towards the match, he would say, "Mr. B, tell me one thing. That's all. One thing." Except when I was working with him, and he played Andre Agassi in the semifinals of Wimbledon. Not easy for me, because the announcers were saying, "What is Nick going through?" So the night before he played Andre Agassi for the semifinals, he said, "Mr. B, let's sit down." He always had two private courts at Wimbledon. He said, "Tell me I'm going to win tomorrow." I said, "Let me think about it." Went home, and I gave him 3 or 4 points. When I went to match, Barbara Becker was here, and his model, what was her name? The model that he worked with at the beginning.
Barbara Streisand?
No. Barbara was the singer, but he worked with that model who became a movie actress. She was sitting over here.
Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields. And Nike was over here. And so the announcer said, "How the heck could Nick get his fanny between Boris Becker and Brooke Shields?" And I was a winger, you know. So what did I tell Boris? I said, Boris, Andre is going to beat the tar out of you that first set. When you have an opportunity, he was down 4-1 in the second, and you hit a big shot, look right down at him. Yeah! Boris won. Boris won. And as we walked to the big hill to get his Mercedes, he said, "Mr. B, I owe that match to you." Was that difficult for me to tell Boris how to beat Andre that was so close to me and looked in my home? Yeah, it was. But as a coach, you have to take care of the person you're coaching at that time. And many times, one match, the biggest mistake I made in tennis was when Andre Agassi played Courier at the French Open. And I sat in Andre's box. And that crushed Jim. But we're the best of friends. And Jim Courier always is there for you. And when you have so many great ones, it's difficult. Venus and Serena Williams, holy mackerel. And hey, boys and girls, with Serena, we had Serena and Venus at the Academy, and always in December before the Australia Open, we would have 15, 20 of the top pros of the world. So they were playing King of the Mountain, hell of a game. And Venus and Serena was on my stadium court, and this was now being done on court #1. Tommy Haas looked so, whoa, what are they on court? Venus and Serena heard what Tommy said. "Come on over, we're playing the game." And boy, they held their own. And let me tell you something. When I was asked when I traveled with the Williams, Nick, are you the coach? No way. I'm part of the Williams team. And that's why I always got along with them. And remember when the commentators and the press, the people said, Venus and Serena ain't never going to make it because they need a coach. Yeah. 17 Grand Slams, they need a coach, huh? And Richard Williams was terrific. And this year at Wimbledon, he's coming down the stairs, and I'm doing the commentating.